Voice and Sing. Block Band has a great concert and marching band arrangement. But did you know that Lift Every Voice and Sing was first publicly performed as a poem during a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday on February 12, 1900, by 500 school children of the segregated Stanton School. Its principal, James Wilton Johnson, wrote the words to introduce its honored guest, Booker T. Washington. The poem was set to music soon after by Johnson's brother, John, in 1905. In 1919, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, dubbed it the Negro National Anthem for its power in voicing the cry of liberation and affirmation for the African American people.
Hey everybody, it's Al Trevize from Block Band. Just wanted to do a quick Black History share with you. A few years ago, I went to a lecture that was being held by a relative of William Grant Still, the Dean of African American Composers. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. What I find fascinating about William Grant Still is that he is a pioneer in African American music. He's the first to have a major orchestra play his position, the first to conduct a leading American orchestra, and that was the LA Philharmonic. And he was also the composer with the first full-length work by an African American produced by a major opera company. So William Grant Still basically put African Americans out there in the mix in the classical genre. His career was quite successful, and his most famous work that you hear playing is the Afro-American Symphony. And it mixes touches of jazz, and you can see notes of his interest in African music as well, with traditional classical orchestral sounds and melodies. If you want to know more about him, there's lots of pages out on Google, but he does have a William Grant Still biography page, and I hope that you will visit it soon.
I'm Freeman McNair III, and I'm an arranger for Block Band Music and Publishing. I want to share a Black History moment by paying a tribute to the band directors that have influenced me and paved the way for me as a teacher and an arranger. I would like to take the time out to give credit and honor to my middle school band director, Mr. Donald Jenkins, who was a member of the Marching Men of Cookman, who taught me how to play the baritone horn. He was an excellent musician and by far the best trumpet player I've ever heard. I would also like to acknowledge my high school band director, Mr. Ernest White, at Raines High School, who pushed me to be the best at what I did. He was even at my concerts as a high school band director. A little known history fact is that Mr. White was the first black band director at predominantly white Duncan U. Fletcher Senior High School in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. I would also like to acknowledge my professors at Bethune-Cookman University, Mr. Donovan Wells, my director of bands, who gave me some great advice, and Mr. James Bortier, my applied instructor, for being an influence in my life and how I teach. I also learned more about arranging from Mr. Bortier. And I also can't forget Mr. Melvin Lewis and Dr. Jerry Pikett, who mentored me during my first year teaching. And also one of my greatest mentors, Dr. Julian E. White, who is the brother of my high school band director. These men sown into me as well as many, and they will forever be icons of the HBCU band world.